world's biggest ICT industry exhibition, Mobile World Congress 2015, is held in Barcelona, Spain. What are this year's mobile trends revealed at the Congress? We will recap the event using keywords. Another hot issue at the MWC 2015 is Fintech. We will talk about the landscape of global fintech market, as well as the potential and strategy of Korea's fintech industry. Samsung and HTC unveiled their latest virtual reality devices at the MWC 2015. We introduce you to smartphone-connected virtual reality devices and services that are set to be popularized. The prototype of Korean moon rover, which aims to explore the moon in 2020, has been unveiled for the first time. How far has the technology come, and what needs to be complemented to enable exploration of the moon? North Korea's second most powerful man has changed once again. Who is the current number 2 man after Kim Jong-un? And what's Kim Jong-un's motive behind his comparative frequent change of his number 2 man?
Hello, I'm Andrew Salmon and welcome to Bizline. Now today we are whisking you to Barcelona, Spain, where the world's top gadget makers, mobile carriers, even financial firms have gathered for Mobile World Congress 2015, the world's top ICT expo. And there, Samsung Electronics has wowed the audience by releasing its latest smartphone, the Galaxy S6. And of course, it's not just Samsung. Many of the world's top IT brands are using this as a platform to showcase their latest devices. So, what will be the hits? What will be the misses? Let's go to Barcelona and take a look.
The Mobile World Congress 2015, or MWC, ended on March 2nd after a 4-day run in Barcelona, Spain. Under the theme of The Edge of Innovation, the MWC 2015 was held at the largest scale ever, with about 100,000 audiences from about 200 countries around the world visiting the event. It has established itself as the top exhibition of the global mobile industry. Through their keynote addresses, chief executives of about 40 leading global mobile firms shared the latest trends, core values, and leading technologies of the industry. The event largely attracts attention of press, companies, and the public. Therefore, new technologies and products touted by participating firms have come under the spotlight. Among them, ICT power Korean firms received the most attention.
결과만 종합해 본다 그러면 삼성과 LG가 보여줬던 플렉서블 디스플레이에 대한 기술력, 그리고 통신사들이 보여줬던 5G에 대한 비전, 그리고 적극적인 전략과 자세, 그리고 LG가 필두로 보여줬던 웨어러블에 대해서 선도적인 입지를 가져가는 부분. 그래서 그게 세 가지 부분에서 상당히 좋은 어필을 했다는 생각이 듭니다.
The biggest issue maker from the latest MWC was Samsung's Galaxy S6. It completely overturned the methods used in the previous Galaxy series and unveiled innovative ways, adopting new designs, materials, and user experience.
The best display, the fastest processor, the best cameras under any conditions.
By connecting metal and glass as if they were a single material, it showed off a sophisticated design and implemented an independent color with nano coating. For the first time by the series, it provided integrated battery and added wireless charging technology that does not require a separate charging device. Its charging speed is also much faster than rival products. The company also unveiled its own payment service, Samsung Pay. It is more secure as it simultaneously supports near-field communications, or NFC, and magnetic source transmission, or MST technology. It can be used by existing credit card payment devices at the majority of stores. With its powerful specification, it is set to be competitive in the next-generation payment platform market. Such innovative technology may have worked at the MWC. Samsung Electronics Galaxy S6 Edge has been selected as the best new mobile product. It was the second consecutive year for Samsung's product to be picked as the best new mobile product at the Gear Fit last year. The wearable market has also grown at an incredible speed. In particular, competition among smartwatch makers was fierce. Apple was absent from the latest MWC, but its rivals competed one another with new technologies. Among them, LG Electronics' LG Watch Urbane series have attracted the most attention. According to a popularity vote conducted by a press, it was overwhelmingly the most popular smartphone. For the first time in the world, it adopted LTE communications modules and enabled users to receive and send data quickly, as well as high-quality voice over LTE without smartphones. The watch also received strong attention for its design that was as good as a fashion item. The company also surprised the audience with its demo of turning on and off the engine of a vehicle with Urbane LTE. The NFC sensor and the LTE communications module served as a smart vehicle key.
전작인 S5에 비해서 시장이 기대하는 바를 충실히 구현했다. 그리고 그것을 뛰어넘는 플렉서블이라든지 14나노 프로세서라든지 이런 것을 통해서 시장의 기대를 충족시키고 상당히 좋은 반응을 얻었다라고 볼 수 있겠고요. 그리고 LG에서 출시한 그 어베인이라는 스마트워치 그리고 어베인 LTE라는 독자적인 통신 모듈을 탑재한 스마트워치도 상당히 좋은 평을 받고 있습니다. 그래서 스마트폰 관점에서는 플렉서블 디스플레이에 대해서 삼성과 LG가 한국의 기술력을 다시 한번 확인시켜주는 셈이 되겠고요. 스마트워치라는 새롭게 등장하는 카테고리에 대해서도 LG의 어베인이 상당히 중요한 포인트를 보여주었다라고 생각이 됩니다.
Global mobile carriers and network equipment makers have pictured a concrete future of the approaching 5G era. Amid the fierce competition, performance of local companies have clearly stood out. SK Telecom has unveiled network technology that will lead the 5G era and various platforms that could blossom our 5G life based on this technology. SK Telecom was the only Korean telecom company that operated an exclusive booth for the 6th consecutive year. Under the theme of Journey to the New World of Innovation, SK Telecom introduced various services such as the 5G network-connected Internet of Things, location-based, intelligence, commerce, and big data services.
SK텔레콤은 LTE보다 100배 빠른 5G 속도 시연에 성공했을 뿐만 아니라 UHD보다 4배 용량이 큰 8K UHD, 5G로 움직이는 원격 제어 로봇을 선보이며 눈앞에 잡히는 가장 앞선 5G 기술로 관람객들의 큰 호응을 얻었습니다.
Together with LG Electronics, LG Uplus has attracted attention by decorating the exhibition hall as a real house with a kitchen, living room, study, and dress room. Home Manager, a solution that controls key consumer electronics based on voice recognition functions, has attracted significant attention when it was introduced. On top of Magic Mirror that checks the user's skin type and suggests a diagnostic solution, it also unveiled TVG woofer and LTE live broadcasting service, achieving favorable outcomes in exports and consultations.
특히 매직 미러의 경우에는 피부를 측정을 해서 화장품을 추천해주는 기능까지 있어서 그 현지 반응이 굉장히 좋았습니다.
5G에서 지향하는 바는 크게 세 가지 포인트인데요. 첫 번째는 지금같이 트래픽이 폭증하는 시대에 대비해서 고속 대용량 네트워킹이 가능해야 되겠고, 그리고 IoT나 스마트홈 그리고 스마트카를 포괄할 수 있는 다양한 기기를 포괄할 수 있는 부분, 그리고 실감 영상이라든지 이런 것을 재현하기 위해서 저지연, 고속의 네트워크를 가능하게 하는 이 세 가지 포인트인데요. 이번에 주목을 받은 부분은 특히 IoT 관련해서 저전력으로 네트워킹을 하는 이런 IoT 네트워크가 초점의 대상이 됐고요. 또 하나 주목을 받은 부분은 고속 대용량의 네트워크를 구현하기 위해서 기존 이동통신망하고 와이파이를 결합하는 형태의 그런 네트워크 기술이 또 한 번 주목을 받았습니다.
About 2,000 firms around the globe have participated in the latest MWC. The mobile market has confirmed innovations that exceeded its technological capabilities. It was a place that people could meet various solutions and devices for 5G networks and practical IoT technologies. The MWC has once again confirmed that Korea is at the center of the global ICT industry. The latest event, which has provided a glimpse into the future of our daily lives, has also clearly shown us the present state of our mobile communications sector.
One of the hottest topics at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona was fintech, or financial technology. And indeed, the unveiling of Samsung Pay generated an avalanche of global media coverage. So, where does Korea stand in this fruitful-looking new sector? How promising is Samsung's market entry? And what actually is fintech anyway? These are some of the questions we have for our guest today. He's a senior researcher here at the Korea Institute of Finance. Yoonsok, welcome to Bizline.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to be here with you. Just give us a real dummy's guide. What actually is fintech, and where and when would you say it started?
Basically, the word fintech itself is very difficult to trace the origin of the word because nobody really knows where it came from in the first place. But if we literally look at the word itself, it's basically a combination of finance and technology.
Sure.
The basic kind of financial service that we are referring to when we're talking about fintech are basically payment services, because if we look at the payment services, it is heavily involved in our day-to-day lives because we use them for internet shopping, we use them for purchases over the offline stores, and also it's heavily used by financial companies because they're making all these payments on their day-to-day transactions. So obviously, the payment services are the number one type of financial services that the fintech companies are providing technologies. The second area would be the area of so-called remittance services. But basically, as we all know, remittance services is also a subset of payments because it's just payments over boundaries of within the countries. In addition to that, nowadays it's expanding to a different area that we haven't seen in the past, but it's getting more attention, and that is the area of so-called data analysis. We all know the word big data, and in the big data area as well, new technologies are being adapted to provide a new kind of data analysis in the financial companies and also in the financial information services as well.
Okay. Let's move on to Samsung Pay, which of course was unveiled in Barcelona very, very recently. For those who haven't read a newspaper for the last week or so, just fill us in. What does Samsung Pay actually do?
If we think of Samsung Pay as a new kind of technology or a new kind of service, it differs from the previous payment methods from the following way, because in Samsung Pay, you can basically make a payment not just using the NFC device. In addition to that, Samsung Pay can use the so-called magnetic secure transmission method, which is basically using the magnetic system. When we use the credit card, you can just swipe it. Right.
Okay.
And so Samsung Pay enables you to also utilize that device in addition to the traditional NFC type devices that we are used to.
So it's package two in one, so to speak.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But the only problem with Samsung Pay using the magnetic secure transmission type device is that it can create some transmission problems, as most of the wireless transmission devices can create problems. So in that sense, it gives you a better option of providing you with additional payment method.
Wider options, right.
Right. But on the other hand, it can create some transmission failure problems. So there's a balance of, you're exploding into a new kind of device, but on the other hand, you're also in the danger of making some kind of payment failures in some cases.
Do it again, right? Okay. Now, Samsung Electronics has customarily been seen as very fast, very efficient, second mover rather than a first mover. And this solution, which is, I think, a JV, a joint venture with MasterCard, is being seen, particularly by global media, as a rival to Apple Pay. Do you think Samsung is entering the market at the right time?
Samsung is a second mover in this market. And obviously, second mover has advantages of being able to overcome the failures that the first movers have experienced. But as I mentioned just now, Samsung Pay may also have some kind of transmission failures during the payment itself. I think it all depends on how secure the payment system is going to work. And if those kind of concerns are easily overcome, I would say that Samsung Pay has a huge advantage over the previous payment systems and gain a much more popularity in terms of the payment, the traditional payment methods.
Okay. Let's move on to a slightly different subsector, more to the services. When we look at the global easy pay market, you've already mentioned PayPal, and there's Alipay, and pretty dominant. Now, Korea likes to see itself as an IT power, perhaps less so, though, in services than infrastructure and devices. Do Korean firms have a presence in this subsect of the fintech market?
Korean IT technology is one of the most advanced technology that traditionally Korean industries have taken a huge advantage of. So in terms of the information technology quality, I think the Korean fintech companies are well equipped in that sense. But if we look at the history of fintech firms in Korea, obviously they haven't gained as much popularity on a global basis. And the reason for that is because in Korea, there have been certain regulations, such as the public authentication certificate system. So, and also in addition to that, there was a very widespread use of Internet Explorer in terms of the web browser. So people had to download and install all these plugins that normally in other countries the users wouldn't have to install. So both the regulation and the sort of the software that the people have been heavily using were a little different from other countries, and those kind of disadvantages have been undermining the competitiveness of the fintech industry. But recently the government has removed the kind of disadvantages that the fintech companies had. So we'll have to sort of...
I mean, what are we talking about specifically here?
So the government had decided to remove that they have to use the public certificate
the
authentication
system.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And that also gives people the right to not use the active X plugins anymore, because it is all connected with the public authentication certificate system as well.
Okay. You just mentioned regulation as it affects payment services. Let's talk about the regulation as it affects banks. Now, the financial industry is very, very strongly government regulated, and there is this very, very fierce firewall between industrial capital and financial capital. You know, given all this, how innovative have the Korean banks been in adopting these kind of technologies?
If you look at the way how the Korean banks have dealt with the new technologies and the innovative technologies, I would say they've been rather very keen and also heavily involved in the new technologies, because if you look at the level of the internet banking activities and transactions in Korea, it is one of the best in the world, and people are making mobile financial transactions through their smartphones, and they can even do stock trading easily through their smartphones. So in terms of the technology itself, the Korean banks and also the other financial companies have been very early adapters in that sense.
Okay.
But one of the things, and this is also related to the problems with the fintech firms, as I mentioned earlier, the kind of regulations that have been working as an obstacle in terms of making these financial transactions available has also, dragged
back. Yeah.
Dragged the Korean banks' competitiveness as well. Okay. So I think, in a sense, the infrastructure of the Korean financial companies are very good, but it's the kind of way that some regulations and environment of the users that have been dragging competitiveness of the Korean banks. Yes.
One thing you mentioned earlier on in this interview, which I was unaware of, is that fintech also encompasses big data and the ability to analyze big data, which of course is very important in the financial sector, particularly with a currency like the won, which tends to have a lot of zeros on the end of it. But tell me, in terms of the capital markets, in terms of investments, how well have these technologies been adopted by the, should we say, the more the brokerage, investment banking type sectors in Korea rather than the retail?
Well, in terms of the non-bank financial industry areas, I think the fintech has been sort of more used relatively in the insurance sector rather than the securities sector. I mean, there are also fintech that has been involved in the securities or the non-bank financial sector as well. But the reason why I mention the insurance sector is because fintech has been, or rather, the transaction information of, say, insurance products have been heavily used in trying to detect whether the customers are trying to apply for a false kind of insurance money that they claim to have been.
This is almost security oversight.
Exactly. So the insurance companies have always been heavily or trying to use the new technologies in fintech area that has been developed recently. So obviously the insurance companies are very interested in this area. But again, the securities companies also, they would want to analyze the various kind of transactions data that they have in their hands as well.
Gotcha, okay. Now, I mean, coming back to this issue, security, obviously very, very critical for all kinds of online data transmission, but particularly, I would guess, for financial transactions, this is the most dangerous area of all. Are you convinced that these various solutions which are now coming online are appropriately safeguarded?
If we look at the past track record of Korean financial companies, securities and safeguard issues are not one of the issues that they take pride on, because we've seen various incidents,
massive data leaks,
data leakage and information leakage in these in the banks and also the securities companies as well. But I think it's not the problem of the system itself that needs to be updated or whether we should take more interest in. I think it's rather the way these systems are operated. So what I'm talking about in terms of operation is that there's more room for improvement in terms of the internal control rather than the quality of the system itself.
So you're talking about human compliance rather than systemic failure.
Because we've seen these incidents where people were able to download huge, massive information.
But I mean, back in the day, people used to go into a bank with a shotgun and a stocking over their heads.
Exactly.
Nowadays, they're hacking in. So there's always been the issue of human risk. But I mean, is there not a way to safeguard this in the electronic space?
Well, of course, there's room for improvement in the system as well. But I think the main sort of issue that the Korean companies have experienced is more of a internal control or the maintenance issue rather than the hacking of the system itself.
Okay, gotcha. Well, it's been fascinating talking to you. Thank you very much indeed for being on Bizline.
When you can't catch a cab late at night or feel insecure to take a cab by yourself, now you don't have to worry if you use this app. App of the week is free call taxi app Limo Taxi. You can use taxis easily and safely. When you open the app, you can see your location on the GPS-based map. And you can take a look at the taxis nearby you by type. This app enables you to choose the taxi you want by their vehicle type and users' reviews. After selecting the taxi and entering your destination, your taxi will shortly arrive. If you register the phone numbers of your family members or friends, your route will be sent to them via text message, so it is particularly useful for women. Now, with just a few touches on your smartphone, you can comfortably use taxis.
One of the brand new devices released by Samsung in Barcelona was the Gear VR2 headset. Now this enables users to enter virtual reality through its interface with the screen of the brand new Galaxy S6. But Samsung is not alone in this sector. Taiwanese smartphone manufacturer HTC is also in virtual reality devices. So, what is the potential of this brand new segment? Let's take a look.
During the Mobile World Congress 2015, new virtual reality devices have received attention as much as smartphones. We introduce you to VR devices that implement virtual reality, which is emerging as the new generation media platform after computers and smartphones. During the recent Mobile World Congress, or MWC, another product of Samsung Electronics has captivated the foreign press as much as its Galaxy S6 unveiled at the event. It was Gear VR Innovator Edition, or the VR device for the Galaxy S6. The latest MWC has shown us that the new trend is virtual reality, with its VR demo rooms full of audiences.
정통 IT 제조사들이 각각 이제 헤드업 디스플레이나 아니면 가상현실 단말들을 직접 발표하고 있습니다. 최근에는 또 이제 단순히 가상현실뿐만 아니라 촉각이나 진동과 같은 다양한 이제 육감 감각을 융합시킨 제품을 이제 마이크로소프트에서 기존의 게임기와 연계하여서 이제 출시를 하고 있거든요. 그래서 상당히 근 3년 동안 이전보다도 훨씬 더 이제 기술이나 아니면 이제 서비스 면에서 급격하게 성장하고 있는 추세입니다.
The Galaxy S4-based Gear VR, which was unveiled prior to the MWC, is the world's first commercialized VR device targeting ordinary consumers. After inserting the smartphone to the goggle-type headset and wearing it, you see a wide grassland in front of your eyes and horses running below your feet. From where you are standing, you can immediately go into the ocean. The user sees three-dimensional images as if the user is actually in that place. In addition, the screen changes in 360 degrees in line with the movement of the user's head.
VR 기기는 내 눈에 보이는 장면이 고개 돌림과 맞춰서 보여줘야 되는데 그러한 것에 따른 딜레이, 즉 지연이 전혀 없게끔, 전혀 없게는 못하지만 최소화하는데 이제 기술적 난제가 있었고요. 그거를 현재 20ms 이하로 줄이는데 성공을 했고, 이는 이제 현재 나와 있는 가상현실 기기 중 최고 수준이라고 볼 수 있습니다.
Virtual reality has mainly been implemented through goggle-type video display units, or head-mounted displays, or HMDs, but the devices were large and heavy. To eliminate such weak points of HMDs and improve the accessibility of VR devices were connected to mobile devices. Smartphone-connected products print out images and voice through the smartphone, so they do not require separate connecting cables.
기어 VR 같이 이렇게 모바일, 즉 스마트폰을 이용한 기기들은 선이 하나도 없습니다. 왜냐하면 스마트폰에서 모든 연산을 다 하고 모든 컨텐츠가 그 안에 있고, 그렇기 때문에 따로 선이 필요 없고, 기어 VR이라는 VR 기기와 스마트폰, 갤럭시 노트 4라는 스마트폰에서 모든 가상현실이 만들어지기 때문에 선이 전혀 없습니다. 즉 휴대도 간편하고 실제로 가상현실을 즐길 때 몰입감을 방해하는 요소도 없고, 이런 면에서 장점이라고 볼 수 있습니다.
The device can even offer an augmented reality function using the rear cameras. The popularization of smartphones and enhancement of smartphone technology has become the footholds of the VR industry.
가상현실 기술이 근대 새롭게 등장한 게 아니라 이전부터 계속 있었는데, 대중화의 가장 큰 걸림돌이 디바이스 자체에 대한 무게와 그리고 기타 주변 기기 등간의 연계성 때문에 일반 보편적인 사용자들이 사용이 힘들었고 기존에 이제 게임을 좋아하는 사람 아니면 이제 군사나 아니면 특정 훈련을 위한 이제 기반 사업자들에게 국한이 됐었습니다. 하지만 이제는 삼성기업 VR이나 카드보드와 같이 스마트폰 하나만 있으면 다양하게 즐길 수 있기 때문에 개발하는 사람 관점에서도 그리고 향유하는 사람의 관점에서도 가장 큰 장벽이 이제 허물어졌다는 겁니다.
Google has released the blueprint of its VR device, Cardboard, as an open source to help smartphone users to easily access virtual reality. Cardboard is a VR device made by folding thick paper. Anyone can make this at a cost of about $20 US. LG Electronics has unveiled a low-end VR device that can be made by assembling light plastic instead of paper using this blueprint. LG Electronics has provided virtual reality devices for free to customers who buy its smartphones, further raising the accessibility of virtual reality devices.
가상현실이나 3D 같은 단어를 들으면 보통 제가 어렸을 때 대전에 가서 꿈돌이나 이런 영상을 볼 때나 가능할 거라고 생각을 했는데 손 안에 들고 다니는 기계에다가 뭔가 간단한 장치 하나만 덧붙여도 그런 효과를 항상 즐길 수 있다는 게 신기하고 재밌기도 하고 되게 신기하다고 생각했습니다.
The industry, which is searching for a new growth engine that can succeed smartphones, is closely watching the VR industry, which is still in its early stages. This is because VR devices can be used in countless sectors, including games, military, medicine, entertainment, and education. The industry sees it has a potential that can even change a culture, not just an industry.
여러 가지 응용 분야로는 교육과 훈련이 있을 수가 있습니다. 가령 예를 들어 중장비 운전 같은 경우에 초보자가 중장비를 운전하다 보면 사고나 이런 가능성이 있을 수 있지만 이런 가상현실 기기, 즉 시뮬레이터를 이용해서 여러 번 훈련을 하고 실제로 장비를 조작하게 되면 사고의 위험도 낮아지고 또 숙련도를 미리 높여서 교육의 효과도 극대화시킬 수 있는 이러한 장점이 있습니다.
Experts expect sales of VR devices, currently at 200,000 units per year, to rise to tens of million units annually after 4 to 5 years. To popularize VR devices, the industry has to develop contents and give it versatility that allows it to connect to various platforms.
많은 사람들이 컨텐츠계로 참여를 하고 이제 자원을 갖다가 이제 공유할 수 있는 그런 이제 컨텐츠의 생태계 개방성이 함께 동반돼야 되는 것입니다. 예를 들어서 이전에는 가상현실이 게임이나 교육에만 국한되었다면 지금은 이제 다양한 이제 문화 체험이나 아니면은 이제 실생활에 자기한테 맞춤화된 컨텐츠를 갖다 직접 제작할 수 있을 정도로 개발 도구까지도 이제 좀 보편화되고 있습니다.
The popularization of smartphones is serving as a new springboard for the VR industry. With our imaginations, VR devices can be used in countless ways. The VR industry is under the spotlight for being the new growth engine that will succeed smartphones.
One of President Park Geun-hye's most imaginative election pledges was her promise to plant the Korean flag on the surface of the moon by 2020. And things do indeed seem to be moving in that skyward direction. Korea has just unveiled its first ever lunar rover, and apparently a Korean launch vehicle will carry that device into the heavens. So, now seems to be an appropriate time to assess the progress of Korea's very own moon mission.
The world beyond planet Earth has captivated and been pursued incessantly by mankind. Thanks to the ongoing discovery of outer space and ever-evolving space exploration technology, the science fiction image of a life beyond is coming closer to becoming a reality. The space race, sparked by Cold War rivals the United States and Soviet Union, has now been joined by China and India. Korea aspires to become the next embarking on a moon exploration in 2020. Under a state space agenda, a research team at the Korea Institute of Science and Technology has unveiled a prototype of a robotic lunar rover that could take up a probe mission upon landing on the moon. The homegrown lunar probing vehicle is 50 centimeters wide, 70 centimeters long, and 25 centimeters tall. It was designed to operate in extreme celestial conditions and against huge daily temperature ranges from 170 degrees below zero to 130 degrees above, as well as performing on rough lunar terrain.
영하 170도의 밤에 14일간 지속되는 밤 동안 그 온도를 견뎌줘야 된다는 굉장히 어려운 조건을 가지고 있습니다. 그래서 본 로버를 개발할 때는 사람이 지구에서 조정을 하면서 안정적으로 지형을 다니는 지형 적응성과 그러한 극한의 달의 환경에서 잘 견딜 수 있도록 하는 환경에 대한 강인성 두 가지를 중점적으로 만족할 수 있도록 개발을 하였습니다.
China's robotic moon missions faced mechanical setbacks in earlier phase probes because the lunar rover's delicate sensory wires and motors were exposed to the outside environment. Korea's version was designed to keep the key components safely tucked inside the body.
각 부품마다 보온 장비를 설치하다 보면은 이 로버의 무게가 굉장히 커지게 되고 무겁게 된다는 문제점이 있습니다. 그리고 또 부품 기계적인 신뢰성이 굉장히 떨어지게 되고요. 가능한 주요 핵심 부품을 로버의 자체적인 몸 안에 다 수납할 수 있도록 설계를 하였고 보온을 쉽게 할 수 있게 그러면서 환경에 강인할 수 있게 개발을 하였고
The six-wheeled vehicle also can easily move around the rugged terrain of the lunar surface. The passive double tracks with two separate bodies connected with chains help the robot operate in smooth and flexible manner.
달의 환경에 강인하면서도 달의 지형에 잘 적응을 해야 된다는 두 가지 미션을 동시에 만족을 해야 돼서 몸체를 두 개로 분리를 하였습니다. 그래서 각각을 원박스로 구성을 하고 그 두 개의 몸체를 그 체인 형태로 연결을 하여 줌으로써 지구보다 6분의 1이지만 달에 존재하고 있는 중력을 이용해 가지고 수동 기구부에 의해서 자동적으로 지형의 형상에 적응할 수 있도록 하였고요. 그리고 최소한의 주행 신뢰성을 확보하기 위해서 6개의 휠을 장착함으로써 차후 6개 중 2개까지의 휠이 문제가 생기더라도 최소한의 주행 성능을 확보할 수 있도록 개발을 하였습니다.
One of the biggest feats in the rover development is that the local researchers have self-developed the key rolling bearing technology.
달 환경에서는 고진공을 갖기 때문에 액체 오일이나 그리스 등이 쉽게 증발하는 경향이 있습니다. 따라서 이러한 그 환경에서는 액체 윤활제의 사용이 제한적이고 거의 사용되지 않고 있습니다. 그래서 저희가 이번에 적용하고자 하는 것은 납이나 은 그 위에 고체 윤활제를 방막 형태로 적용하여 베어링의 효율성이나 신뢰성을 높이고자 하는 기술입니다.
The design and manufacturing of bearing customized for a moon roving vehicle used solid lubricants to withstand celestial environments. The solid lubricants used a mix of silver, lead, and other metal dopes wrapped up in film coating.
달 탐사 로버 바퀴나 CMG용 베어링의 경우 우주환경 특성상 파손이 일어나면 교체가 어렵고 그리고 한번 구동 시에 오랜 기간을 목표로 삼기 때문에 파손을 줄이고 파손 시기를 늦추고자 케이지 안정성에 관한 연구를 수행하였고 이를 충족시키는 베어링과 케이지의 개발에 목표를 두고 있습니다.
The Korean rover can speed up to 4 centimeters per second thanks to these various technologies. The robotic rover will embark on its moon probe after it is successfully separated from a spacecraft in 2020. It will be equipped with a driller and analysis equipment, camera, and communication apparatus. But there is much work to be done before it is fully ready for a moon probe. The overall weight of the rover, including the internal temperature control system, needs to become lighter. The exploration vehicle load that will go on a Korean rocket will weigh about 20 kilograms, which could be lightest among the lunar rovers that landed on the moon. Because the body alone weighs 13 kilograms, its equipment must weigh 7 kilograms or less in order to meet the goal. Another challenge is to enhance solar panel efficiency for self-charge capacity. When tests proven, the rover will be ready to take off by 2020.
현재 이 로버가 타고 갈 예정인 한국형 발사체가 지상에서 쏴줄 수 있는 무게, 지구에서 달까지 이동하는 이동체, 그리고 달에서 착륙을 하는 착륙체, 그리고 착륙체 안에 들어있는 로버, 이런 것까지 감안을 해서 전체 무게가 정해져 있습니다. 그렇게 되다 보니까 이 로버한테 할당되어 있는 무게는 20kg이고요. 그 20kg 안에서 달의 극한 환경에도 적응을 해야 되고, 지면도 잘 이동을 해야 되고, 그리고 또 과학자들이 원하는 과학 임무를 다양하게 수행할 수 있는 장비를 탑재해야 되고, 그래서 어떻게 보면 20kg라는 목표 내에 이러한 로버를 만든다는 것은 굉장히 도전적인 과제입니다. 하지만 그러한 문제점을 해결할 수 있기 위해서 저희는 지금 노력을 하고 있고요. 그래서 가장 중요한 거는 이 과학 탐사, 어떤 미션에 의해서 어떠한 과학 탑재 장비가 탑재되냐가 지금 현재 가장 중요한 이슈입니다.
Space exploration reached a new level after European spacecraft Rosetta became the first to orbit a comet last year. Korea could become the fourth country after the US, Russia, and China to land on the moon if its mission succeeds and contributes to mankind's long-standing curiosity and challenge towards outer space.
Ever since the shock execution of Kim Jong-un's uncle, Jang Song-taek, there's been frenzied speculation over who will emerge as the new number 2 man in the North Korean regime. Now, currently, Choi Ryong-hae and Hwang Byung-seo appear to be jostling for this position. As a result, pundits are carefully assessing their chances based on such metrics as their order of naming in state media and the position of their seating at state events. So, who are these two men? And are they truly competing for power and favor in the dangerous court of Kim Jong-un?
경의하는 김정은 동지께서 조국 해방 전쟁 승리 기념관에 새로 꾸린 근위부대관을 돌아보시었습니다. 황병소 동지, 최룡해 동지, 오일정 동지.
While reporting on North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's visit to the Victorious War Museum in Pyongyang in late February, the state media cited Hwang Byung-seo, military Politburo chief, ahead of Workers' Party Secretary Choi Ryong-hae. The order of citation in North Korea's official statements often means the rank in power. The second highest rank has been changed in just 4 months. Power in North Korea comes from the sole governing party, Workers' Party, under the country's socialist and monolithic ideological system.
모든 사회주의 국가는 당이 이 정부 기관보다 서열이 높습니다. 따라서 북한의 최고 서열을 보면은 물론 이제 그 주석이 있고 뭐 당 비서가 이런 뭐 개념이지만은 일단은 노동당 정치국의 정치국 위원, 그 다음에 정치국 후보위원, 그 다음에 이제 각 부서의 당 비서 이런 순으로 이제 순서가 정해지거든요. 그렇기 때문에 당의 정치국을 중심으로 기본적인 서열이 정해진다 이렇게 볼 수 있고요.
The party's central committee is comprised of the highest body, Politburo, or Political Bureau, Secretariat, and the Control Commission. It separately has Central Military Commission chaired by the party's first secretary. The most powerful body of the party is the Presidium of the Politburo. 3 are voting members: de facto leader Kim Jong-un, Kim Young-nam, chairman of the Supreme People's Assembly or ceremonial head of state, and Choi Ryong-hae. Che, for some unidentified reasons, is believed to have been demoted to non-voting member status on the Presidium.
최근에 북한에서 정치국 회의, 정치 확대회, 또 그리고 당 중앙군사위원회 회의, 여기에서 그 조직, 인사 문제를 다루었다. 이렇게 북한에서 언론 매체에서 보도한 거 볼 때 아마 황병서가 정치국 군의 총정치국장 겸 이 당의 정치국 상무위원으로 등극된 것이 아니냐.
Choi Ryong-hae is the son of Choi Hyun, former defense minister who had fought with North Korea's founder Kim Il-sung in the independence movement against the Japanese during the colonial era. Hwang Byung-seo replaced Choi, who emerged as the second highest after Kim Jong-un purged and executed his uncle Jang Song-taek as chief of the Politburo of the military in May last year, ranking just behind Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un. Hwang was the distinctive number 2 as he led a group of high-profile guests to drop in on the Incheon Asian Games closing ceremony at the last minute in October last year. The confusing name-calling was again reversed later in the month. In the report on Kim Jong-un's visit to the May 1st Stadium back in Pyongyang, Che was cited ahead of Hwang. And 4 months afterwards, another switch was made.
김정일 위원장 시기에 비교해 보면 적어도 인민무력부장이나 총참모장 이런 핵심적인 지위의 임기가 대략 한 4, 5년은 갔어요. 근데 김정은 체제에 오면 5, 6개월을 넘지 못합니다. 인민무력부장의 경우에는. 그렇게 본다 그러면은 물론 김일성 시대나 김정일 시대에도 권력교체 최고 지위에 대한 매우 중요한 지위에 대한 권력교체는 있었지만 그러나 이렇게까지 빈번하게 권력교체가 이루어진 적은 없어요.
Senior personnel appointments and replacements took place too often to be deemed normal since Kim assumed power in late 2011. The faces in Pyongyang leadership are entirely different from the time of Kim Jong-il's death in December 2011. 3 years later, just 3 remain in visible power among the 7 that had kept to Kim Jong-il's side in his last march down the streets of Pyongyang. Kim Ki-nam and Choi Tae-bok remain on the party secretariat, and Kim Jong-gak is now in charge of the Kim Il-sung Military Academy. The other 4 were purged or dismissed. Their places were filled by Hwang Byung-seo, Choi Ryong-hae, Hyun Young-chul, the Minister of People's Armed Forces or Defense Minister, Ri Young-gil, Chief of General Staff of North Korean People's Army, and Kim Won-hong, Minister of State Security. Why does Kim Jong-un make so many changes in the power elite? Some believe he does not want a decisive second rank that can undermine his power.
채용의 황병서 이 의전 서열이 바뀐다든지 또는 군부의 그 계급이 뭐 하루아침에 강등됐다가 다시 또 뭐 승진시킨다든지 기타 이런 부분들을 가지고 아마 정치적 경험이 부족한 김정은 제1위원장이 인자를 두지 않으면서 서로 견제하면서 충성심을 이끌으면서 김정은 유일영도 체제를 강화하겠다. 심화시키겠다. 그런 전략적 의도가 담겨 있는 것이 아닌가 생각됩니다.
Others also believe the frequent appointments could underscore the fragility of Kim's power base.
강력하기 때문에 인사를 저렇게 비정상적으로 빈번하게 강등이나 복권을 하는 게 아니고 오히려 거꾸로 취약한 권력 기반을 커버하기 위해서 그 지도부들을 통제하는 하나의 방식으로 활용하고 있다고 볼 수 있거든요.
Can Kim's volatile appointment style to tighten his grip over power and his people work?
언제든지 중요한 지위에서 해임이 될 수 있고 강등이 될 수 있다고 하는 인식을 심어줌으로써 충성을 유도하는 전략인데 그건 이제 김정은이 권력 기반이 취약하기 때문에 이제 고육책이라고 볼 수 있기도 하지만은요. 그러나 그 부작용이 크죠. 그러면 언제든지 제거될 수 있다라고 하는 것은 충성의 유도보다는 사실은 대단한 내적인 불안전성, 그 다음에 어떤 가식적인 충성심, 그 다음에 또는 언제든지 제거될 수 있기 때문에 어떤 모반의 가능성까지도 내재해주기 때문에 사실은 이게 뭐 합리적인 방식이다, 아주 효율적인 방식이다 이렇게 볼 수는 없죠.
His erratic appointment style could reflect the insecure state of mind of a modern-day hereditary ruler who ascended to power at a young age without proper grooming. It remains to be seen if his own way of governance will bring about the result he had aimed for.
And that's all we have time for on Bizline this week. But do join us again next week because, accompanied by the biggest economic delegation she has ever taken anywhere, President Park Geun-hye is currently touring the Middle East. We'll find out whether she returns home with any actual concrete business benefits that may spark a second Middle Eastern boom, exactly 40 years after Korean construction firms first penetrated those markets. So, do join us then, but that's all for now. I'm Andrew Salmon. This was Bizline. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.